told that I was left on a bench by a girls' school, and then some girls found me and took me to the police station, and the policeman took me to the orphanage, and then that's where they gave me a birthday and a name, and I only lived there for about 6 months. My mom and dad did foster care, and then they decided they wanted to adopt 2 girls because they couldn't have any more kids biologically, so they wanted to adopt. I think it's a really good thing because we're helping the kids that don't have a home be able to have a mom and dad, and we're rescuing them from their situation.
Well, once we decided we were going to adopt, we were kind of like, okay, well, we need an agency. We picked out an agency and did all the paperwork and all the stuff that you need to do, and then they brought an agency. Sorry, I talked with my hands a lot. The agency brought a woman to us. She's like, oh, you know, we wanted to get to know her and get everything going, and it was a really great process. We met her, we liked her, she liked us. Krista talked to her on the phone like 4 hours a night, and we went to the ultrasounds, the doctor's appointments and all of that, and we just started falling in love with this child.
You know, we had gone that far along. She had told us this was your baby. You know in the back of your head that until it's done, it's not done. But what basically happened is I had called her a few times and she hadn't returned the call. We thought that's really weird. And then one morning early, we got the call from the agency saying that they wanted to come speak with us, and we knew something was wrong right away. And it turned out that she had
changed her mind. It's almost like you had a miscarriage. This baby was yours and now it's not. And it was devastating. We didn't even know what to do.
It's not like you can go to your friends and family and say, hey, when your birth mother changed her mind, what did you do?
God used that for His good. He was preparing us. He was getting us to meet the people that we needed to meet to actually get the child we have now, our son. We went to a church service going, we don't want to be here. And the pastor talked about something that was really hit home with us, and we were supposed to go to a small group later that night where we had talked to these people beforehand. They had adopted, and they had a birth mother who changed her mind. They ended up still getting the child, but of all the people that we know, and we didn't even know them, they had actually gone through what we had gone through. So we went to this Bible study. It was the first night we were meeting with them, and the wife just started talking about who they are, what their experience was, and Krista broke down. She just started crying. I had to leave.
I'm sure nobody else in the small group was like, why is this couple?
They had no clue, and the wife was kind of like, did I say something wrong? And we stayed around afterward and started talking to them and just prayed with them and got a little bit of healing, a little bit of, not really closure, but healing that we could move on and move forward. And then, was it a couple months later? A couple months later, they called us up and were like, you guys still want to adopt? Of course we still want to adopt. And they said the birth mother of their first child was pregnant and wanted to give the child up, for adoption, and they thought of us immediately. They're like, hey, you guys, this is for you. And that was the whole thing. That was God preparing us. That was God leading the way, and through these people who we hadn't even met at the time before, and it was like, okay, this is yours. And God was leading us through the whole thing. You have to jump in all the way. Whether it happens, what happened the first time happened again, we had to jump in all the way. You have to be fully committed to let the birth mother know you're there, you're gonna do this. So yeah, we went to the doctor's appointments again, and we did everything again, and got caught up in loving the child. You know, it was like, okay, this is going to be our child. And we were so excited again. Initially, we were very reserved, but by the end, getting closer to the birth, we started to get excited again.
We've become advocates for adoption and educating people about adoption.
There are so many things that people don't understand about adoption, or they have wrong ideas and misconceptions about adoption, and so many of them are false. There's nothing. Adoption is a wonderful, wonderful thing, and we would totally recommend it to anybody.